Hi guys, it's Shirt of ChromaGlitch, and today we're going over some of the most recent updates in Sunhaven. The patch notes can be found in-game. In this video I'm going to go over the patches I was able to find and test. There is a scheduled micro patch to fix a few bugs that appeared with this update as well. Starting off, the in-game map for Sunhaven received a few updates. Romanceable NPCs now have an icon that moves with them. This means these NPCs are easier to find during the day and even when they're in the process of going from location to location. This is a great update because from what I could tell, the movements are in real time, and it made finding characters a lot easier. You can also expand the map to take up more screen space, so no more struggling with the smaller map. In single player, the player character is marked on the map with a yellow dot, which is again helpful when traveling. Available quest and completable quest also have an icon on the map. If you hover over it, it does say what the quest is. A big thing I hope we eventually get to see is a map of Withergate and Alvari, as well as the surrounding forest regions. There are several things I forget exist unless I just stumble across them, so having a map of the forest with landmarks would be very helpful. I also hope multiplayer will eventually have player icons for all of the players in game, and hopefully those will be different colors or shapes. One of the biggest updates is the overhaul on romance. Players can now marry an NPC if they have enough hearts. There are also new dialogue sets for dating after the second date, as well as during marriage. Bernard in City Hall now sells keepsakes that can be unlocked through dialogue. This also means any keepsakes that have been lost or were initially missing from the game can now be purchased. Bernard also sells a love letter which can allow you to begin dating an NPC if you turn down the second date or missed it. You can also buy a wedding ring to start that relationship cycle. Of course, I ran into June and was also excited to see that the characters now have busts for different emotions. I did run into a bug here and was unable to progress the romance options though. The mines also received a huge update, adding in floors 26 through 50 and relaying out how ore can be found. I'll do a separate video with a more in-depth mining update to replace my previous mining guide. There's another patch incoming that will introduce enemies as well as a few other things in the mines, and I want to cover all of that together. The Naga character option has been added to the game, as well as some variations to clothing colors. There are also new clothing options in the shop that will rotate each day. One thing quite a few people have expressed, especially for elves, is having a wingless option available. I can see a wingless option for demons also working since the horns and tail alone scream demon. Elementals are still being developed, so right now there is only an option for a fire elemental. Since that's confirmed in development, I won't get too into that elemental side of things yet. Another thing that I've seen thrown around is wanting more or slightly tweaked skin tone options. Currently there are 12 skin tone variations players can select from. Some of the darker skin tones do look a little off, especially when adding the other features to the character. It would be awesome to see the darker tones getting slight adjustments or even having more tones offered. It would also be great to see an expanded color option for non-human races that go beyond natural skin tones, much like the citizens in Withergate, or all these really cool colorations as demons, and it would be fun to have that option as well. A major update for the player house is there is now a tier 3 upgrade that can be purchased at Town Hall. The upgrades work a bit differently. Now you have to get a permit, which also requires a set amount of wood and stone to craft the upgrade kit before you just get the kit. The tier 3 house adds 2 new rooms and is huge. I'm going to have to do a lot of shopping and redecorating to get it up to our tour standards. One thing that hopefully gets fixed, if you have a pet inside the house, they will occasionally go behind the walls. They come back eventually. Another cool thing is we finally have gates. This has been a big ask in Discord and Reddit, so it's great to see it implemented. The gates can only be placed facing one direction, but that's not a huge issue. Wallpapers have also been added, and they can be placed on a single wall rather than the entire house. Those are a few of the patch updates and things I ran into after the update. There are still a lot more updates for multiplayer to come, especially bug fixes and quality of life fixes. The Alvari and Withergate maps and quests are also upcoming, which I can't wait to see if we get a way to fast travel to Alvari like Withergate. Again, there will be a part 2 update on the mines, so keep an eye out for an updated mining guide in the future from me. The mine update will add enemies, chests, and rewards and make the mines a bit more lively. The salon in Sunhaven will also be getting updated along with the clothing options, so again, can't wait to see that. There are still some bugs and glitches, but the game is early access, so I try to keep that in mind when making these videos. If you run into any bugs or found the patch helpful, leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found any of the information helpful, please leave a like and be sure to subscribe for more Sunhaven content.